Hello and welcome into the live stream here on clickorlando.com. You're watching News 6's continuing coverage of the federal trial of Noor Salman, the widow of the Pulse nightclub gunman. Time now is 8:32. I'm Bridget Ellison, and I'm here with longtime federal attorney Rick Jancha joining us again to help lend some legal analysis to the proceedings that have happened thus far. And it was a busy day yesterday in court, and the first time we're hearing from relatives of the family.
Yes, they called, actually called Omar Mateen's mother and his sister, who came to testify. And that was kind of a mixed bag for both sides. I mean, what the government called them for was to set up the fact that Noor Salman had contacted Omar Mateen by text earlier and said, if your mother asks where you are, say I'm at home and you went to dinner with Nemo. The government's contention is that that is an excuse or cover story that she created for him to use, knowing that he was not with Nemo. They called the mother to bring that out because she was told that by Noor. And then she immediately texted her son, and her son called her back and gave her that same story when he was en route to Orlando.
So it showed some collaboration between the spouses, telling the mother-in-law that he was somewhere he actually wasn't. And she testified she found out the hard way at the temple that it was not the case. She ran into Nemo's mother.
Yes, and said, I understand my son's having dinner with your son. And Nemo's mother said, well, that's impossible. He's in Washington. And so she testified she was very embarrassed about that. And then if you look at the phone record, she immediately began calling Omar Mateen and texting him saying, where are you? What's going on? I'm worried. Please contact me. And he never did contact her after that.
There were also some technology specialists who testified as well from the FBI about the text messages that were exchanged as well as deleted from some of those devices. The searches, the internet searches. But you said that the government dropped the ball on part of that.
What concerns me is you have the FBI had their theory of the case. And of course, that was they concentrated on the Pulse shooting and jihad terrorism activity. And so the only search that the information technologist was asked to do was related to those items. On cross-examination, he had to admit that he didn't even search for the word Pulse when he was doing his scan of Omar Mateen's cell phone and Noor Salman's cell phone.
So the specialist is saying he neglected to check for the word Pulse.
Well, he was.
In his.
He indicated that he was given instructions of keywords to search for on the phone, and that's all that he did. But if you look at the defense standpoint now, there were many other things on the phone that negate the veracity or the accuracy of what Noor Salman said in her statement. Such as she allegedly told the FBI, we drove around Pulse, the cell sites, because every cell phone hits off a cell tower and you can pinpoint the location of a cell phone. The forensic evidence indicates that never happened. So they didn't drop the ball, but they failed to present or go further, as the defense did, to disprove the accuracy of her statement, which brings into question the credibility of it. And was she just making things up to appease the FBI?
We still have the issue of her going with him previously on previous trips to Central Florida.
Correct.
We have the issue of her going shopping with him for ammunition.
Yes, the government is making a big issue of that because what they're trying to show is that she knew in advance that what he was planning to do. I mean, in fact, they did go on vacation or went up to Disney Springs and Disney with their son. But also, the government's shown that in the weeks before, she bought a $7,000 ring, diamond earrings, was put as a beneficiary on his bank account, that the day after the assault.
And to me, there's other evidence as well that she did try to access his accounts and made statements.
Correct.
To the effect of, I'm supposed to be on the account, but she couldn't get the money.
Yeah, supposedly the day after the incident, she contacted PNC Bank and said, I need to get access to the checking account, but they've got his wallet, and I can't. How can I get a hold of that money?
But it would seem to point that she knew she was now on there as someone who can access it.
Yeah, well,
She knew.
The government presented evidence earlier that she went to the bank with him when he changed and put her as a beneficiary on the account. And see, the government is using all of this that she was involved in the plan, preparation, and setting up how she and her son would be taken care of after the attack. Now, the defense argument is, look, she just lost her husband, she's got a young son. Of course she's going to be worried about how she's going to get along financially.
You would be worried, but if you had gone to the bank with someone prior to and changed all that, would that be a signal that something was up?
That is definitely in favor of the government, the fact that immediately before the attack, they went in and he put her on the account. That shows knowledge that something may happen to him and that he may not be available, therefore they better prepare for the future.
What about their text messages that night as the attack was happening and the analysis of that? There was some argument about whether or not it showed that, they were saying their final goodbyes because they texted each other. She was texting him what happened, and he texted, I love you, and
it's a mixed bag. The text messages.
She had one text that
taken
said,
as a whole,
you have to work tomorrow.
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
At one point, the government says she sent the cover story about, hey, you're with Nemo, but yet she's saying, yes, remember you got to work tomorrow. What's happening, or what happened? So one of the texts shows that, according to the government, that she knew what was going to happen and was involved, but yet the other texts indicate she was in the dark as to exactly where he was and what he was doing.
And as these testimonies go on, today would be the last testimony day of the week, the last day of the week for proceedings, other than there's some jury instruction happening on Friday.
Yes.
But what else is there left to do before the government rests its case? Because the judge is saying that things are going faster than he expected.
As I understand it, the information technology expert's going to come in again today. Hopefully he will plug some of the holes that are going to be raised by the defense from the government standpoint. Because the worst thing that can happen is for the jury to believe that the government was hiding something. So they need to bring out, if there are gaps in their evidence, they should bring that out today to the attention of the jury. What happens is they work on the instructions Friday, then the defense can either rest or put on evidence starting Monday. But the defense has indicated they're going to call 8 to 10 witnesses. So on Monday we'll start hearing Noor Salman's version of what happened.
Seems like a quick turnaround.
It is. It moved much quicker than everybody thought.
And we still have no idea if Ms. Salman will take the stand, but do you see her team calling the same family members back up, and do you see more,
I don't think they're going to be doing that because I think they got on cross-examination what they needed to from the family members. They may call maybe someone from her family, but not from Omar's side of the family. What they're going to delve into is they've had experts examine her as to her intelligence level, whether or not she suffers from battered spouse syndrome, which would make her more susceptible to false confessions.
There was also an exchange in the courtroom where it was revealed that the mother-in-law had texted Noor before in the past and told her to grow up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it was the mother-in-law or the sister-in-law, but yeah, I said basically
character illusions that maybe she was not mature.
Correct, and like I say, the testimony yesterday cut both ways because his family said that, look, she was immature You know, she loved the children. She cared about the children. That was her main focus. But I had to tell her one time, just why don't you grow up? And so that shows that and they indicated that she was not really actively involved when they get to social gatherings, but she was more focused towards the children and taking care of the children. So it's very interesting. I mean, each witness seems to have something for the government and also something for the defense.
Well, what does the government need to do today to end this on a strong note?
They've got to hit the strong points of what she did affirmatively to facilitate or aid in the terrorist transaction. Because simply knowing what her husband's going to do does not equal aiding and abetting. She has to take some affirmative act in furtherance of helping him commit it. And that's going to be the hole they have to try to really fill in and finish hard with today.
Okay. Well, we will wait to see what happens in court today. Thanks for joining us again. And we will be back here on clickorlando.com at 12:30 with some updated information about what's happened in court so far today, as well as more legal analysis. Thanks for joining us here on clickorlando.com. I'm Bridget Ellison.